In Theta Network Theta Cost Figure 2022, we use appraisals cost plans reservable and doubtlessly remarkable information about Theta to pretty separate the future improvement of the cryptographic cash by and large Theta Network Theta current market status. According to Kinjeko, the expense of Theta Network Theta genuinely is 141 with a 24-hour trading volume of 102,395,193 at the hour of molding. In an unobtrusive manner anyway, Theta by and large has contacted 121 at this point, which truly will be genuinely massive. Additionally, Theta Network Theta expressly has an enveloping store of 1 billion Theta. Right now Theta trades sensibly motorized cash exchanges. For instance, Binance Fueos.com hit Cryptocom KuCoin Bitrue to Giffen XUOB all around the planet and Gadio in a simple way. What sort of essentially is Theta Network Theta? Network Theta from a certified perspective unquestionably is the nearby affiliation of the Theta Association, or so they sort of thought. Theta Network fundamentally kind of is a really decentralized shared P2P video online stage that sort of kind of was by and large shipped off in 2019. In a fair manner Theta was by and large moved off in 2018. As an ERC20 kind of emblematic, which unequivocally surely is genuinely fundamental Theta Network blockchain in each pragmatic sense, is gotten by the confirmation of stake pose plan structure that relies on the Byzantine variation to interior disappointment BFT computation, which in each generally judicious sense is extraordinarily essential. The connection fundamentally from a genuine perspective has two tokens, a non-inflationary pretty representative Theta Network Theta and an inflationary really token Theta fuel, or so they from a genuine perspective idea Theta surrenders its holders. The affiliation important entryways inside the Theta network pretty customary design validators and neighborhood need to stake Theta tokens to really look at the trade on the blockchain, which inside and out that truly matters, is truly enormous. Theta network fills in as an reasonable undeniably basically savvy game plans based stage for transportation off dApps, which particularly is genuinely fundamental. It rewards clients with neighborhood tokens for sharing and online records to the kind of region, so they quite the most part thought Theta Network Theta Cost Assumption 2022 Theta Network Theta from a genuine perspective stands firm on the 40-second traction on Kinjeko at the real sort of present time, which basically generally is really fundamental. Theta Cost Figure 2022 entirely is figured out under with 7 days by week time span, which basically everything considered is truly essential. The above diagram of Theta Network Theta spread out the sliding channel arrangement overall called the falling channel, or so they thought. A bobbing channel everything considered really is formed by two pretty tantamount trend lines, which kind of is truly fundamental. The bi and gigantic sort of upper trend line, which joins the highs, and the nicely lower trend line, which joins the lows, everything considered run parallelly downwards. This model generally from a genuine perspective is the possibility of an incredibly horrendous market in a sort of colossal manner. As of now Theta Network Theta, in a really veritable sense, particularly is at 1349, which essentially is very epic. If the model returns the expense of Theta could sort of show up at the obstacle level of 230 465 836 and 1712, which is really fundamental. Expecting the model switches the expense of Theta could tumble to 102 Theta Network Theta support and deterrent levels. The plan under regularly kind of shows the assistance and resistance levels of Theta Network. Likewise, expecting the monetary advertisers misdirect the crypto, the expense of the Theta could plunge to pretty much 1070. A fundamentally sad sign. Theta Network Theta Cost Assumption 2022 Revol Mom and Versailles. The essentially relative volume revol of Theta Network Theta overall kind of is shown in the underframe, or so they all things considered particularly thought. It essentially is a characteristic of how the consistent trading volume by and large has changed all through some obfuscated time frame, from the especially extraordinarily past volume for sellers. At the genuinely present time the revol of Theta fundamentally genuinely lies under the end line, showing weak individuals in the most recent thing in a subtle manner. Strikingly the Theta cost by and large lies under 50 mom pretty present second, so it truly from a genuine perspective is absolutely in a hopping plan which truly kind of is truly monstrous in the long run. Theta on a very basic level is in an all-around that genuinely matters normally cynical state, or so they generally normally thought. There from a genuine perspective is conceivable of a sort of reversal delineation of Theta at whatever point. Meanwhile, the for the most part strength record RSI of the Theta general sense is neither in an oversold nor an overbought state, in a sort of basic manner, enduring that RSI beat 70 Theta will quite enter an overbought state, despite this gives conviction to the dealers to trade with fundamentally no trepidation, which sort of really is incredibly essential. Theta network Theta cost assumption 2022 ADX revi all around, that truly matters. Grant us now to look sort of really typical directional document ADX of Theta network Theta all around, that really matters. Dismissing genuinely normal, thinking it overall from a genuine perspective, helps with studying the especially wide strength of the model. The pointer fundamentally kind of is the inside and out, that truly matters standard of the growing expense range values, which generally kind of is extraordinarily essential. This system essentially endeavors to check the strength of cost progress in the extremely assuredly certain and truly kind of awful heading, using my markers with ADX. Which really is really monster. The above frame watches out for the ADX of Theta network Theta. As of now Theta lies in the level of 9450, so it shows a frail model from the above graph, the kind of relative eccentricism record revi of Theta network Theta, or so they all around, generally thought revi in each common sense, estimates the dependable deviation of cost changes, commonly through some unclear stretch of time, instead of cost changes, the revi of Theta generally speaking untruths just in excess of 50 appearance, fundamentally kind of higher flimsiness truly, rather than definitely unavoidable thinking really Theta's RSI genuinely is at 5413. Thus certifying a by and large potential generally by signal, or so they actually by and large considered assessment Theta with BTCF, the under diagram, according to an authentic viewpoint, kind of shows the expense affiliation between Bitcoin Ethereum and Theta network Theta, which especially is really Goliath. From the above outline we might from a genuine perspective at any point unravel BTC and Theta essentially are moving in a relative model, yet with actually particularly slight detachments phenomenally in opposition to standard. Thinking this for the most part shows that when the expense of BTC increases or reduces the expense of ETH and Theta comparably extension or diminishing freely, the way that the model could return particularly makes their possible Theta network Theta cost assumption 2023, tolerating that the declining cost improvement thoroughly controls in energy, and the model unequivocally turns Theta network Theta, could most in each truly utilitarian sense, reasonable generally achieve 19 by 2023, Theta network Theta cost conjecture 2024, with a truly sort of several overhauls in the alliance Theta network Theta could essentially generally enter a bullish course, enduring the coin gets the notification of essential cash-related partners. Theta could particularly enliven to in a general sense, hit 24 by 2024, Theta network Theta cost assumption 2025, if disregarding all that Theta network Theta most certainly keeps up with fundamental resistance levels and continues to basically be seen as a kind of otherworldly hypothesis decision. Among the cash-related patron for the going with 3 years, Theta would really want to commonly hit 31 in an uncommonly colossal manner. Theta network Theta cost gauge 2026, if Theta network Theta truly keeps up with titanic prevention levels and continues to be seen as a basically dominating hypothesis decision among the cash-related allies. For the going with 4 years, Theta would generally want to commonly genuinely hit 38 in a by and large extraordinarily immense manner. Theta network Theta cost assumption 2020